Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Bruff. I run a YouTube channel on GCSE English Language and Literature at youtube.com/Mr. Bruff. I've got over 1,000 videos, over 10 million views and 68,000 subscribers, so please do come along and have a look at the channel. Now Eve has asked me to make a video today. We're collaborating, she's putting a video on my channel, and I said, what do you want me to make a video on? And she said something that is very, very important. She said, look, how do I approach the exam question? I've got all of the knowledge in my head, but how do I put it down on paper? And I completely agree that that's a good idea for a video. The first thing that you have to realise is that every question links to the writer's ideas and themes. You see, writers weren't just bored. F. Scott Fitzgerald or J.B. Priestley, they weren't just sat there one day thinking, you know what, I'm kind of bored, I'm just going to write this story about a guy who has lavish parties and he loves this woman. No, they had ideas and themes that they wanted to communicate to their readers, to the public, and they used their texts to communicate those ideas and themes. So whether it's Priestley's themes of social responsibility and attack on capitalism, or whether it's F. Scott Fitzgerald and the decline of the American dream, you are going to write about those ideas and themes. In every single exam answer, you need to look at the question and you need to think to yourself, which theme does this question link to? And that's the first step, okay? Now, once you've thought about the theme, that helps you to avoid the number one mistake with GCSE English Literature and A-level English Literature, which is writing about the characters and the plot as if the characters and the events that take place are real. So we learn this about Gatsby and we feel like this, or we don't like Daisy, or, you know, all of that kind of thing. That's not what you need to write about in the exam. What we're doing in the exam is we're saying, okay, the writer uses this character to present this theme. Once you've got the theme in your mind, you think, right, I know what it is the exam board are looking for, I know the theme I'm going to write about, then you need to think about all of the millions of ways you could write about that. And I actually think it's quite useful to stop at this point and think, what is it everybody else is going to write? Because we often lose track of the fact that the examiner is a human being, okay, and they are going to mark lots and lots of papers. They're probably a teacher. They probably come home from school and think, I'm going to mark 20 papers tonight. And if they read the same thing again and again, it cannot help but make them think, oh, this is the same old stuff. So I actually think in the exam, you should stop and think, what is everybody else going to write about? I'll avoid those things and I will write about something a little bit more impressive. That's really important. So you're going to write about the writer's ideas and themes. You're going to think about what everyone else is going to write and avoid that. And then I want you to think about using points on language and structure and form. You see, you could write a really good answer just on points on language, but I actually think in the time you have in the exam, this will help to focus your thinking. If you think, okay, I'm going to write one thing about language, one thing about structure, one thing about form, by the time I've explained them all really well, that'll probably be the end of the exam. And that will help to focus all of those millions of ideas you have. And the final thing that I would say is every single time you finish a paragraph, look back at the question. The number one mistake that I find in students' work is that they start by answering the question, but they drift into just writing everything they know about the text. It's very, very tempting. I do it sometimes too. So every time you finish a paragraph, look back at the question, use the wording of the question in your answer, and make sure every single paragraph that you write answers the question. If you've got this far in the video, then thank you so much for watching. If you head over to mrbruff.com, I'll give you a 20% discount exclusively for subscribers on this channel. So what you do is you go to mrbruff.com, you order some ebooks, and you use the coupon code EVE, and that will give you 20% off your first order. Just to thank you all for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please do head over to youtube.com/Mr. Bruff and subscribe to the channel.